Come in, Mrs. Jones.
Oh, yes.
I'm Mrs. Smith. It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to make this meeting.
Oh, of course. Can I get you anything? A cup of coffee, a glass of water?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Please, have a seat.
You've totally got this. That's cute.
It's kind of our philosophy around here.
It's really cute.
I do appreciate you coming in, Mrs. Jones. Did you get the progress report that I sent you?
Yes, I did. Thanks for sending it. I actually had plenty of time to read it. I also have Kobe's most recent IEP here with me.
Oh, great. And I had a chance to review that as well.
Okay. I also took down some notes, just some general concerns, things like that, to help me get through everything.
That's great. And if you don't mind, I would like to take notes as well so that I don't forget what we talked about.
For sure. Oh, also, if it's all right, I'm just going to turn my cell phone off really quick. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm here because I'm not exactly satisfied with Kobe's progress. I feel like he should have made more progress by now, and, well, I feel like now is the time to fix what needs to be fixed. Specifically, I think that Kobe could use more speech therapy to kind of fix the whole situation, but I really want to talk to you more about that first.
I see. So currently, Kobe is receiving 30 minutes of therapy twice a week, so an hour a week. And you'd like to talk about increasing that?
Yeah, I would, really. Honestly, I think that an hour a day is necessary at this point. 4 days a week. I know it sounds like a lot, but, I have my reasons.
Well, let's talk about those. What does Kobe's day look like in the classroom?
Well, Kobe's, he's missing some communication skills. And the speech therapist is working with him on that, but I guess my main goal is for him to be able to communicate with his peers. I always get really sad when I go to pick him up, and Kobe's just... he's alone in the corner. None of the other kids are playing with him, and thank you. I appreciate that. To be more specific, this is what I saw. On September 3rd, I went to pick Kobe up, and he was alone, playing with all of his toys, and all the other kids were sort of around, playing in groups. But Kobe, he doesn't have the skills to communicate with them.
I'm sorry. I know that can be hard to see.
And a few days later, I talked to a friend of mine. Her son's in Kobe's class, and she said she basically saw the same thing.
That he was off by himself.
Yeah, off all alone. I can see that the other kids just don't have the ability to talk with him. They're not comfortable. And that makes it really hard for Kobe to practice what he's learned from the speech therapist. Anyways, maybe he needs more skills. But I think the only way to get there is with more therapy.
It sounds like you're looking for us to work together to find ways to increase his communication skills, specifically with his peers. Is that correct?
Yes. I would like to find a way to facilitate more meaningful exchanges between Kobe and his peers. Maybe that means more speech therapy, or, getting the other kids to, Let me tell you something. Kobe does have one friend at home, our next door neighbor. And there's probably some other things about home I should share with you too. First off, he dresses himself, helps us set the table, does chores, takes care of the dog. He's a sweet kid.
That's great.
He can be a bit stubborn sometimes.
Oh, I see.
He's quite the little character.
I believe that. When I spoke with his teacher, she said he's a darling little guy.
That's nice. He is. He's adorable. And he's no problem in class. Sometimes I think if he acted out, he might get more attention. But I don't. We would never...
Oh, well, no, we don't want to go there. We'll certainly find better ways to get him what he needs.
Right, I know. Anyway, Kobe's friend, the next door neighbor, it actually works out really nice. They go over the lessons together when they play.
Oh, wow. So how does that What does that look like when they play together?
It's good. Frankly, it's more meaningful than Kobe's time at school. I mean, I don't see that type of thing happening here at all. Maybe that's something that we could talk to the speech therapist about, working with the other kids.
The other kids. That's what I'm thinking too. Instead of finding ways to increase the one-on-one instruction, maybe we incorporate some games that involve the whole class and teach them all some skills.
Yes, I love that idea. I think that could really help him make some progress. I don't want to fully move past the option of more speech therapy for Kobe, but I'm open to other things as well. Whatever helps him with that social growth he's been missing. I want to see something in place soon.
Sure, I understand. Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to schedule a meeting with Kobe's teacher, the speech therapist, and you, of course. And let's all sit down together and brainstorm some ideas and options. How's that sound?
Yeah, okay, that works.
Before we leave here today, I'd like to get some dates that will work for you, and we can get this thing set up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with me about Kobe right now? Any other concerns?
No, not really. My main concern right now is that he has the skills, the ability to communicate with his peers, and that his peers are able to communicate with him. There are some other small things, but right now that's my priority.
Okay, so you're looking for ways that we can prevent Kobe from isolating from his peers and ways that we can help him connect with his peers socially, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Well, thank you for coming in and getting this started. You've given me a lot of information. I feel like I know Kobe a little bit better, and I appreciate that.
That's good to hear.
So we'll find some dates, make some meetings, and get to work on this.
Great. Do you think if you have some time, you could stop by his class and just observe?
Absolutely. It's already on my schedule.
Oh, great.
Let's go look at calendars.